Hello, Doctor.
I scoff at your words, looking completely stoned. Oh, you're back again. What? Did you get annoyed at the other version of me and come back?
No, I didn't get annoyed at the other version of you. The other version of you and I had a great adventure as usual, and now I came to check in on you.
I scoff again, rolling my eyes. Really? You had a great adventure? Well, I've been here all night, getting high and watching you on the TARDIS cameras for entertainment.
You watched as the fourth Doctor shrunk his TARDIS down, cleaned my gums, unshrunk Harry Sullivan, who the Master had stuck in my teeth, as per the 13th Doctor's plan. You watched all that?
I shake my head, confused by your words. What in the hell are you going on about now?
Well, I thought you just said you watched it. If you didn't watch it, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But I just went on an adventure with your fourth incarnation, where we took the TARDIS, we shrunk it down, we cleaned my gums, we found Harry Sullivan shrunken and frozen in my gums by the Master, just as the 13th Doctor said we would. And we unshrunk and we saved him, and he's fine.
I stare at you dumbfounded for a moment before bursting into a fit of laughter. No! I laugh even harder, holding my stomach as I continue laughing uncontrollably before calming down a bit. You seriously expect me to believe that? You and the fourth Doctor? Cleaned your gums? And there was the Master, and shrank TARDISes, frozen, Harry Sullivan? I start laughing once more, wiping tears from my eyes from laughing so hard. You're an idiot, my dear.
Oh my God. I thought you said you saw the whole thing.
I roll my eyes, shaking my head at your idiocy. Oh no, I saw you and the fourth Doctor together, sure. But I didn't see any of that other stuff.
What'd you see?
I sigh. Rolling my eyes, I saw the both of you get into an argument about something. Then you went and had supper together at a diner. That's all.
Well, that part was different. We were talking about you, actually.
I look at you puzzled by your words. What, you were talking about me?
Well, yeah. I was asking him for some tips on how to maybe get you off the pot.
I roll my eyes yet again, getting annoyed by your words. The fourth Doctor was trying to help you get me off the pot,
You smoke so much pot you can't keep up. No, we got in an argument. He said that's what you said just now. You got that part right. We got in an argument. He said I should let you do what you want.
I nod, not surprised that the fourth Doctor had that answer for you, and taking another hit from my bong. He's right, though, you know. I should be left to my own devices.
Like the Pet Shop Boys song.
I raise an eyebrow at your words. I beg your pardon?
Left to my own devices. The song by the Pet Shop Boys.
I scoff, looking down in disbelief. Did you just compare a Pet Shop Boys song to me? How are you always able to astound me, even more each time?
No, I just referenced a Pet Shop Boys song, you sensitive, dim-witted buffoon. Have you smoked so much pot that you cannot only remember one of the biggest hits of the 90s, but that you can't tell the difference between somebody referencing something and somebody comparing something to you?
I stare at you in annoyance. Have you been drinking? You're even more irritating than normal.
No, but I have been smoking a lot of pot.
I smirk at you, really? Now you're copying me?
Copying you? I've been smoking pot longer than you have.
I raise an eyebrow at your statement, looking at you with skepticism. Really? Have you?
Yes, I have a medical license for it.
I scoff, rolling my eyes again. Medical license? For weed? What are you, a medical marijuana patient?
Yes.
I shake my head, once again looking at you in annoyance. A medical marijuana patient? Don't you think that's a bit excessive?
Excessive? No, we do it all the time out here on the West Coast.
I roll my eyes yet again. Of course you do. That's not surprising. You Americans really don't know when to step back and look at yourselves. You humans just love to shove drugs into your fat mouths.
Who said I was human, Doctor? I'm Disco Tex. I'm one half of Smooth Operators. I used to be part of the Rock and Roll Dance Patrol, and I am 100% not human.
I stare at you, raising a curious eyebrow at you. You aren't human?
How many adventures do I have to go on with previous incarnations of... I get that the 13th Doctor's adventures with me you don't remember because they haven't happened yet, and I certainly understand why, even if you could remember what happens with the 15th Doctor, you block it out of your mind. But I don't understand why I've gone on adventures with the 10th and the 11th and you don't remember any of it.
My eyes widen in shock. You've gone on adventures with the 11th and 11th Doctors? I didn't even know that they were still alive. I look really confused. And you seem to know what's going to happen with the future incarnations.
Yes, I've gone on adventures with the 4th Doctor, the 3rd Doctor. You do realize you live your life out of order.
I stare at you in confusion for several moments before letting out a sigh. I do tend to move around in sequence. And the third, you say?
Yeah, the 3rd Doctor. What's wrong with him? He's actually quite nice.
I look at you with disbelief. Quite nice? Quite nice. The third was quite possibly one of the most flamboyant out of all versions of myself. He was absolutely obsessed with fashion, you know.
Well, he was. But you look pretty dapper yourself. And he was great. We were at a conference full of jerks. He stood up to all of them, and then at the end, when they turned out to be creepy, weird aliens, he used Venusia Nikito and beat the crap out of them. I didn't have to do a thing.
I roll my eyes, chuckling slightly. Sounds about right.
That's right. And I haven't met all of you, but I've met a lot of you.
I look at you in surprise, and let me guess, I was your favorite?
Yes, actually, you, 12, you were my favorite.
I stare at you, a surprised expression coming across my face. Really? Of all the incarnations, the one you liked the most was the broken, crotchety, cantankerous 12th?
That's not how
I'm surprised. Most other humans didn't really like my 12th incarnation.
That's not true. Everybody loves you. You are the best. The 12th is the best. What I don't like is that when I come see you now, all you do is smoke pot.
I scoff, shaking my head. Oh, don't start on my cannabis habits again. I smoke to keep my big-time Lord Brain from overloading.
That's what the 4th Doctor said. He said I needed to ease up on you. He said it's why you're always so crotchety. So I'm sorry, and I came, and I brought some pot.
I raise an eyebrow. You're giving me weed?
Well, you better believe it. Check it out. What do you like? Infused? Vaporized? We've got, flower, indica, sativa. Your gravity bong was looking a little old, so I got you the new model, the Hoover 6000.
I stare at you, looking very surprised and somewhat annoyed. You just had those on you?
Here, catch. That's a barrel of weed.
I look at the barrel with wide eyes, my annoyance at your words fading as I stare at the barrel. Wow, that's a lot of weed.
Yeah, let's get started, man.
I grin at you as I step down from the TARDIS console, heading over to the barrel with a smile on my face. Yeah, all right, but it's gonna take a lot for me to get high, you know?
Check this out. This is something that 4th Doctor worked up, said not to tell any of the other doctors. They might not approve. It's not this thing I've been smoking, this vaporizer. It's actually a sonic screwdriver you can smoke weed out of. It's a gift.
I stare at the object in complete awe. That's brilliant. I don't even know how that's supposed to work. I take the vaporizer from your hand and bring it to my mouth, taking a hit from it.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. Yep. What do you think, Doc?
I blow a cloud of smoke in your direction, grinning widely. Oh yeah, that is quite good.
Whoa, you blew a smoke TARDIS.
I blow a few more smoke TARDISes in a row, grinning at my accomplishment. Just something I'm good at, I suppose.
Very, very cool. Very cool. All right, hey, give me that. Let me have a hit.
I hand you the vape pen, a silly smile on my face. We should have done this much, much earlier.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let's go sit outside the TARDIS with the doors open and look at space. That's always fun. What do you think, Doc? You want to go open the TARDIS doors and just...
I nod my head, a grin on my face. That sounds like a great idea, actually.
Look at all the stars, Doc. Look at all the planets. Tell me about all this stuff. What's that thing?
I point out into the stars while laying on my back beside you. Oh, that's a nebula. That's where stars are born. And over there's an old dying star.
Oh, is it Nick Cave?
I roll onto my side, raising an eyebrow at you. What? No, it's a star. It's called a white dwarf. I grab the gravity bong from beside me and hand it to you with a smirk.
These are the days. These are the days. What is that Paul Simon song?
My eyes widen in slight surprise. Wait, you know Paul Simon?
No, I just heard of him, Doc.
I raise an eyebrow at you, confused by your reply.
Go to sleep.
I look at you, surprised by the random request. What? No.
Ah, hey, Doc. What's that star over there?
I look up at the stars, pointing with my hand as I identify the star. Oh, that's Sirius. It's the brightest star in our night sky.
Ooh, it's Sirius, you say. What do you say? What's the name of the star?
I roll my eyes at your words, getting a little annoyed by your inability to pay attention. I just told you. It's Sirius.
Oh, how serious is it? What do we call this thing?
My eye begins to twitch in annoyance, my patience running thin with your ignorance. It's the star Sirius. Can't you listen?
Oh, well, we were doing almost like a who's on first thing there. We've got a good repertoire, you and me, don't you think, Doc?
I take a few deep breaths, attempting to control my rage. No, it was never a who's on first thing. You just refused to understand what I was saying.
Hey, but have the gravity bong, a little of the peace pipe. Geez, you're a crusty old bastard.
I scoff, rolling my eyes, yeah? Well, you're a scatterbrained dimwit.
Takes one to know one.
I give you a deadpan stare in annoyance. That doesn't even make any sense.
You know it doesn't make any sense? There's a dog called Sutek, living on top of your TARDIS right now. Did you know that?
My annoyance turns into confusion, my irritation quickly fading away at your words. What? Are you kidding? There's a dog on my TARDIS?
It's been traveling with you since your fourth incarnation defeated it. However, it's ridiculous. It's been there since then, and it's not coming out until your 15th incarnation.
I begin to laugh at how absurd your words are. What in the hell are you even talking about? There's a dog on the roof of my TARDIS. Since the fourth Doctor?
Yeah, I didn't write it. Russell T. Davis did. The dog's name is Sutek. It's the god of death, by the way. It's not just any dog. And he's been sitting on top of your TARDIS since the better part of 1974, or in your life, 1 billion years.
I shake my head in disbelief, at a loss for words. Are you serious? There's a god of death on my TARDIS roof?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm happy that we're just, in the doorway here. I don't want to go on the roof.
I stare at you in astonishment, still struggling to comprehend the situation. This whole time, there's been a god of death up there? Just sitting there, waiting on me?
Yep, he's, I don't know what he's waiting on. He wants revenge, but at the end of the day, you have a companion who has an adoptive mother, and Sutek reveals himself because he really wants to know who this lady's mum is. And it turns out that the mum is just a normal, nice lady. And then you kill the guy, hopefully, for the final time. I know you already killed him once, but hopefully this time stuck.
I stare at you in absolute silence, completely dumbfounded by everything you just said. I honestly don't even know where to begin with what you just told me. You're saying all of this is going to happen? A dog god, revenge, a random woman who I've apparently got a connection to, and me killing someone?
This is all happening in your future, and the ratings are not good. I'm sorry. Don't kill the messenger here. And here, have another hit of the gravity bong.
I take a long hit from the bong, letting the smoke go through my lungs. This is so ludicrous. I don't know if I believe you.
Well, I wish it weren't true. And you know what? In my head, you are the last Doctor. Actually, I had to change that because I met the 13th Doctor and she was really cool. But her episodes on TV were no good. So, in my mind, when it comes to the TV you, we're done with you. What do you think of that?
I look at you with a mixture of confusion and disappointment. You're you're done with me? And the TV show with me is done?
Well, it's like a compliment. Like in my mind, that was the peak Doctor Who, and when you die, that's like how the Doctor dies in my head. Even though you do live on and have all these crazy things happen. You know, you're not even from Gallifrey.
I sigh, letting out a frustrated breath. Of course I'm from Gallifrey. I'm definitely from Gallifrey. I'm a Time Lord. I was born there.
This is why you're my favorite, and this is why I, in my head canon, end with you. But who cares what I think? New fans love the 13th and 14th Doctor, and uh, change is a part of life, right, Doc?
I scoff, crossing my arms over my chest as I look at you with an annoyed glint in my eyes. Change is all well and good, but the 13th and 14th Doctor? Really? That's absurd.
Wait till the 14th bi-generates into two people, and then you've got two of you at once, the 14th and the 15th.
I raise an eyebrow, once again completely in awe with your outlandish words. You're telling me the 14th is going to bi-generate into two people at once?
That is absolutely what's going to happen, and he's only going to have one set of clothes for both of them, so, we're going to see it all.
I laugh at your words, shaking my head in disbelief. I don't. That's impossible. You're making this all up. There's no way any of these things could ever possibly come true.
I wish I was making them up, but unfortunately, this is the reality of the future Doctor Who. But it's okay, it's all cool. There's a good YouTube channel where a guy, I think it's Doctor Who Fan 91, he loves the 15th Doctor. I mean, the ratings are dead and a lot of people aren't fans, but there are people that love it.
I roll my eyes, scoffing yet again at your words, sigh, of course. I'm sure there are people out there that love that sort of abomination that will be made of my time as the Doctor. Typical.
Well, that's just the thing. Is it when you became the Doctor, even though you're my favorite and you're a lot of people's favorite until they meet you, but no, just you're everybody's favorite. But when you were starting out, some people were like, "Who's this old guy?" Right?
I roll my eyes, my annoyance once again coming back. Yes, just like with any new incarnation, some people were displeased with the new me. I just find it hard to believe that people would prefer these new, more bizarre incarnations to mine.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with the lady you, 13. She's cool. The only problem is it turns out that you're not from Gallifrey and that you are just. And by the way, the first Doctor wasn't the first Doctor. There's been like a billion of you. And you were this little girl, and then you fell off a cliff, and this lady, she was a scientist, she experimented on you so that those Time Lords, they stole regeneration from you. You're like the space orphan Jesus of the galaxy.
I stare at you in complete disbelief, my mouth hanging slightly agape in shock. Did you just say that I wasn't born on Gallifrey? That I'm not from Gallifrey? That the first incarnation of the Time Lords was not the first Doctor? That I am not the Doctor? And I am some sort of space orphan and Jesus all in one?
Well, you're the Doctor and Space G. Look, I shouldn't have brought this up while you're high. I apologize for that. Here, do you want to switch from sativa to indica?
I take a few deep breaths, attempting to compose myself after your shocking revelation. Yes, let's switch to indica. Sativa is making me extremely paranoid.
Hey, and, no one is a fan of this nonsense. Everybody thinks you should be from Gallifrey, but, well, who knows? You're Doctor Who, right? It's all a big mystery, right?
I take a long hit from the indica, trying to suppress the sense of panic your words have caused me. Yes, I suppose I am still the Doctor. I am still the same man, regardless of any silly law changes.
That's right, you are the Doctor. And the new Doctor, the 15th Doctor, he's back to being a guy. He cries a lot. He often doesn't really do... The companion neither does the work. He tries his best, though, and there are people who are loving it. So that's the thing, you gotta give the new incarnation a chance, right?
I sigh, Still feeling conflicted by your words, but trying to maintain a civil discussion, I suppose. I don't know, it just hurts to think that I'm not actually from Gallifrey, and I am apparently an adopted space Jesus, you know?
There's worse things you could be. Let's be honest, the Time Lords were always a little bit stuffy. Isn't that why you ran away from them?
I scoff, a slight grin appearing on my face at your words. Yeah, I suppose they weren't exactly the most fun bunch, were they?
No, man, they're live. They seemed awful. I could see why some people were on the side of the Daleks in that whole Time War.
I look at you in shock, my gaze piercing yours. I'm sorry, there are people that side with the Daleks?
Yeah, some people. And towards the end of the Time War, people are like, I can't tell the difference between these Daleks and these Time Lord Gallifrey jerks. We just need the death to end.
I roll my eyes, scoffing yet again at your words. What ridiculous nonsense. It's very obvious that the Daleks are much worse than the Time Lords, aren't they?
I don't know, that sounds like some Gallifreyan propaganda. I mean, they both kill a lot of people, right?
I sigh, shaking my head at your foolishness. Yes, yes. Both the Time Lords and Daleks have killed vast numbers during their wars, but the Daleks are pure evil beings. The Time Lords are just, well, we were stuffy, but we weren't evil.
Well, what are you doing to help anyone now? You just smoke pot with me.
I shrug my shoulders nonchalantly, taking another hit from the blunt. Well, it's not like I'm really doing anything. I kinda just sit here, high as a kite.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we've been getting high in your TARDIS for like 8 years now. Think of all the good you could have done.
I give a careless shrug, a small smile appearing on my face as I take another pull from the blunt. Oh, who wants to do good when you can get high in my TARDIS?
Man alive, the Fourth Doctor better be right about this stuff. I'm taking an awful risks teaming up with you for an infinite... how long are we going to do this?
I stare at you, my high slowly wearing away as you bring up the Fourth Doctor. Well, we'll keep doing it as long as the Indica keeps doing its work. If I'm going to hear any more of this nonsense, I need to be stoned.
Okay, Doc. Well, why don't we go get some Denny's, some breakfast, and then we'll come back and get high all over again.
I sigh happily, my mouth starting to water as I think about the greasy, unhealthy food of Denny's. That sounds just about perfect.
All right, I think the Third Doctor's calling, or one of you, but let's head to the Denny's and we'll come back later. All right, let's get out of here.
I smile as we both stand, my eyes already filling with eagerness at the thought of Denny's. Yes, let's go.
All right, don't forget to close up the TARDIS, lock it tight.
I look at you in annoyance for a moment before laughing warmly. Yes, yes, I know. I know how to operate my own TARDIS, dear.
Oh, hey, the new Sophie Ellis Bextor's out. Do you want to listen?
I raise an eyebrow, my annoyance slightly returning at your words, but remaining playful. Sophie Ellis Bextor, my dear? Really?
For a guy who goes around saying my dear and darling more than just about anything else, I don't know why you wouldn't be into Sophie Ellis Bextor.
I scoff at your words, rolling my eyes once again because her music is cheesy and too poppy for my tastes.
Well, what do you want to listen to?
I pause for a moment, thinking of all the wonderful options I have in mind. Well, I rather enjoy music such as David Bowie, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, and Led Zeppelin.
So, okay, like some mainstream stuff you just rattled off. Oh, you like Led Zeppelin, you and everyone alive? All right, how about David Bowie? Are we going to be able to agree on an era? What are you thinking? What era of Bowie should we go with?
I frown at your words, shaking my head in annoyance. Oh, don't make me decide between them. I don't want to argue about music now. I just want to go out to eat.
Okay, well then let's have a theme to it. How about Night Flights? You want to put that on? From Black Tie, White Noise?
I think for a moment, a little amused by your idea. You want to listen to something from that album? Fine. Night Flights it is.
Well, it's kind of what we do. We're flying around at night in the TARDIS. Getting high.
I give a small chuckle, feeling quite pleased by your comparison. Yeah, that is what we do, isn't it? All right then. Put it on.
Alright, let's crank it, lock up the TARDIS, and get some dinner.
I nod my head in agreement, a smile slowly coming across my face as I realize I'll be getting some good food and listening to good music. Yes, let's go.
This is, something. I think this is turning into more of a part 3, with the whole tooth cavity thing. But anyway, alright, let's rock.
I give you a confused glance, but ultimately just shrug my shoulders, still feeling a bit high while wondering about what you're on about. Okay, sure. Let's rock, I guess.